Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. I'm a proud American from my birth to the grave. 47's the dog, took a bullet for all. Didn't flinch, didn't run, still he answered the call. And we said, be tight, be tight, be tight. The Officer Tatum Show. Be tight, be tight, be tight. The Officer Tatum Show. Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. I'm a proud American from my birth to the grave. 47's the dog, took a bullet for all. Didn't flinch, didn't run, still he answered the call. And we said, be tight, be tight, be tight. The Officer Tatum Show. Be tight, be tight, be tight. The Officer Tatum Show.
If you don't believe that we are in a fight today, you're sleeping under a rock. If you get hit and you lay down and you cry and you fold up in the corner, definitely you will not win the fight. We show up to win. Our culture needs a lot of you young people in here to step up and stand out. There is nothing or no principality, power, division, devil can stop us when we're united. They can only get you when you're divided. When I see the American flag, I see us progressing to something that can be awesome and great. And if you don't plan on winning then, you might as well go on today.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies, welcome back to another Officer Tatum show. Make sure you go to tatumstore.com and get your cool merch. These hats are literally flying off the shelf, so make sure you get one today. I want to start with this Hillary Clinton thing, right? New news has come out. We've heard this before. I don't know why. I don't know. We've heard it before. We probably heard it too many times. Do you think, and I want to know from you guys in the comment section, do you think that she's actually going to be prosecuted for something? I don't think she is. But at least we have to report on it because maybe this time is different. Am I encouraged that this time is different? No. But I do think it could be different. And I hope that it's different because our democracy needs it to be different. All right, roll the clip. And so you can see a little bit about what I was saying about the new evidence that have emerged, placing Hillary Clinton right there in the middle of this scam that was a scam on the American people and President Trump. Roll the clip.
Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley is out with a new batch of documents pertaining to the Trump-Russia investigation. And the newly declassified documents were allegedly held in burn bags in a secret room at FBI headquarters. Those would be containers that hold classified docs meant to be destroyed after a specified time. It's 29 pages, an annex or addendum to the 2023 Durham report, exposing a reported Clinton campaign plot to falsely tie President Trump to Russia. Here's Chairman Grassley.
I think we need maximum transparency on all the schemes that were going on 10 years ago to either stop Trump from being elected or after he was elected to ruin his presidency, and that's what this Durham report is all about. It was all effort of total distraction and to make it look like Russia was playing a very major role in helping Trump to be elected, and now we know none of that was true. And now with this Durham report annex out, it finally proves that the FBI was covering up.
Look, the story started breaking right before those comments, so those were Grassley's first reactions to this less than an hour ago. Justice correspondent David Spunt. Now, David.
Well, hi, Harris. Special Counsel John Durham's investigation into the origins of the Trump-Russia narrative began in 2019, ended 4 years later in 2023. Now, he took two people to trial, lost both times, but he did, Harris, secure a plea deal with a former FBI lawyer. Durham's final report, a 300-page document. Here he is in 2023.
Our findings were sobering. I can tell you, having spent 40 years plus as a federal prosecutor, they were particularly sobering to me.
Now, for the first time, we're seeing this declassified now annex. It's 29 pages. It discusses more allegations and information about the Clinton campaign's alleged efforts to discredit then-candidate Trump. Durham obtained emails via Russian intelligence, and the emails were allegedly written by a man named Leonard with the Open Society Foundation. That's the foundation tied to George Soros. According to the annex, Leonard writes about a Clinton campaign advisor named Julianne. She's also referred to by Julie and Julia. One of the emails says, Julie says it will be a long-term affair to demonize Putin and Trump. Now it is good for a post-convention bounce. Later, the FBI will put more oil into the fire. In another email obtained by Durham, Leonard allegedly wrote, HRC, meaning Hillary Rodham Clinton, approved Julia's idea about Trump and Russian hackers hampering U.S. elections. That should distract people from her own missing email, especially if the affair goes to the Olympic level. Now, Mr. Durham interviewed Julie, who told him that she didn't draft or recall receiving any of these Leonard emails. The annex goes on to explain that the FBI was fully alerted to the possibility that at least some of the information it received about the Trump campaign might have origins with the Clinton campaign or Russian disinformation, but the FBI apparently dismissed that information, quote, as not credible without any investigative steps actually having been taken to either corroborate or disprove the allegations.
Now, you got a little bit of some of the new findings that we already knew had happened, but this is just verification. Now, I really do hope that people go to jail over this. I don't know why they wouldn't. And Donald Trump should not be playing nice guy with them anymore. He said he isn't, but he shouldn't play nice guy with them because they didn't play nice guy with him. They tried to put him in prison for the rest of his life. Now, if people think that that wasn't true, because your family going to say this, that wasn't true. Hillary Clinton didn't say this. They didn't really do that. Well, here's a highlight tape of Hillary Clinton with the Russia collusion thing. You cannot tell me that they weren't pushing this and they knew it was a lie the whole time. And they were saying that Trump was not a legitimate president. Roll the clip.
I think that there is a lot to investigate. And I'm personally very grateful that somebody of the stature of Robert Mueller would be there conducting this investigation. He's a totally straight arrow guy. I mean, if it's there, it's there. If it's not, it's not. And I really believe that he will be honest and transparent and tell us whatever it is he finds. But as I say in the book, and I try to explain what bothers me, there's just too many connections to be called just coincidences. There just are. And, you know, some of it is financial entanglements, and some of it is hunting for, you know, negative information about me, and some of it is calling, you know, people and trying to hide the connections and the meetings and the calls and all of that. All of that has gone on. Now, there's a lot of smoke, and whether or not there's fire, we need to figure it out. But here is what's important. Put the investigation into Trump, his associates, and everybody else to one side. There is no denying that the Russians interfered in the election. Right. Whether or not they had willing or unwitting help from the Trump team, they interfered, and they did so to help him and hurt me, and they did so to destabilize our democracy, and they have not stopped.
What's not clear from your book is whether you think that the Trump campaign was colluding in this.
We don't know the answer to that. That is part of what is being explored. There are some serious questions, because what happened when the emails of my campaign manager, John Podesta, were stolen by the Russian intelligence services. Then they were conveyed to WikiLeaks, which is basically now a mouthpiece for Russia authoritarianism. And then they were released on the very same day that the Hollywood Access tape came out showing Trump, bragging about sexual assault. Then they were what we call weaponized, so that they were turned into phony news stories, they were turned into Facebook posts, and then they were targeted at specific voters. The question is, where did the Russians get that kind of targeting information? And, that is one of the unanswered questions that investigators in Congress and the special counsel are looking into.
The Russian government has engaged in espionage against Americans. They have hacked American websites, American accounts of private people, of institutions. Then they have given that information to WikiLeaks for the purpose of putting it on the internet. This has come from the highest levels of the Russian government, clearly from Putin himself, in an effort, as 17 of our intelligence agencies have confirmed, to influence our election. So I actually think the most important question of this evening, Chris, is finally, will Donald Trump admit and condemn that the Russians are doing this and make it clear that he will not have the help of Putin in this election, that he rejects Russian espionage against Americans, which he actually encouraged in the past. Those are the questions we need answered. We've never had anything like this happen in any of our elections before.
I mean, if you're going to let Russia get away with what they did and are still doing, according to Christopher Wray, the current FBI director who said that last week, they're in our election systems. We're worried about 2020, he said. So, hey, let's have a great power contest and let's get the Chinese in on the side of somebody else. Why are, other Americans basically believing Putin? Why did Trump believe Putin more than our 11 intelligence agencies?
I don't know. Do you have a working theory?
I do have a working theory. And why is Donald Trump so enamored of Putin? Well, part of it is he's a wannabe dictator. He has told us that repeatedly. He even said the other day, let's basically get out of NATO and, encourage Putin to do what he wants to do. How absurd a statement that is cannot even be, measured, because you are essentially giving a green light to a murderous, brutal dictator.
Okay. So in part, I would have liked to do a clip that was a little more accusatory, which we do have, and that this wasn't the one. But I do think that this shows that she's building a case that Donald Trump is associated with Russia. She's building a case that Russia colluded in our election, and it had an impact. At the end of the day, the investigation showed there was nothing there. They couldn't prove that it influenced a single vote or it had any consequential effects in our election. But she had tied Trump to it. And in other cases, and other video evidence that we have, that she literally said he's an illegitimate president, that literally he was working with Putin, literally. But you can see her saying and building the case in this compilation of videos. Let's play the one, clip 2, where it shows that Barack Obama ordered the FBI and DOJ to not arrest Hillary Clinton. Roll the clip.
About what the Obama Justice Department ordered federal lawyers to do and not to do concerning the Hillary Clinton email investigation. Chief Intelligence Correspondent Catherine Herridge tells us in sworn testimony on Capitol Hill, one of the insiders told lawmakers what she was told.
During closed-door testimony last summer, former FBI lawyer Lisa Page said the Obama administration's Justice Department advised the FBI not to pursue the gross negligence statute for Hillary Clinton in the mishandling of classified information. Former U.S. Attorney and House Republican John Ratcliffe led the line of questioning about the statute, known as 18 U.S.C. 793. Ratcliffe, you're making it sound like it was the department that told you you're not going to charge gross negligence because we're the prosecutors. Page interrupted. That is correct. Page's testimony appears to conflict with then FBI Director James Comey's recommendation in July 2016 against criminal charges for Clinton.
What I can assure the American people is that this investigation was done honestly, competently, and independently. No outside influence of any kind was brought to bear.
Lies. Completely lied about the whole thing. And I just think that there has to be justice brought against these people for doing that. It has to be. There's no way out of this, because if Donald Trump knowingly and intentionally did this, he should go to jail. And I love Trump. I think he's great, but you can't do stuff like this and get away with it, and we just let it go because I like you. You know, people got to be held accountable so we don't have stuff like this happen time and time again. All right, let's move to another topic. I wasn't going to talk about this situation, because the Sydney Sweeney thing, I was like, I'm not a fashion person. I don't shop at American Eagle. But then Mark Lamont Hill had to open his mouth, and others had to continue to talk about this issue. I think it's very clear that people don't like that Sydney Sweeney is fine. Not as fine as my wife, but she fine. People don't like that she's good looking, and people don't like that she is in the ad doing a play on words, bruh. I don't think it was tongue in cheek to say she has good genes. Now, because she was modeling jeans. But even if she did say she have good genes, like, how has that got anything to do with necessarily race? Because there's ugly white people, and she just don't happen to be not an ugly white person. So can you say that she got good genes, that she came out to be pretty and not ugly? But the people of the melanin and the ugly, hairy armpit, blue hair, onion ring smelling liberals, women, are upset about this. Nobody took this. When you watch the commercial, you just think it's a girl who's a celebrity modeling clothes and getting paid to do it. And they try to do a little fancy play on words. It's because I got good genes. Now, if you somehow think your genes are inferior, you now become upset about this. But I didn't think nothing of it. And nobody with rational common sense did. They say, oh, that's a cool little ad. I like those jeans. I might buy them. But Mark Lamont Hill, the weakest black man on planet Earth that haven't come out to be gay yet. Now, I don't know if he's gay or not, but he just about as weak, right there on the borderline of being just as weak as being gay right there. Wrote a clip.
You used the word normal and talked about it in the context of this white woman. White women are normal, but so are other people. The problem is, historically, we have only normalized white people. And so we've made white women's bodies, white male bodies, the norm. And we've made everything else less human, less beautiful, less real. And so when we say good genes are the ones that—
What a load of crap. Honestly, I'm sorry, Mark. If I may jump in on my own show. What a load of crap. I saw Beyonce do a jeans ad. Everybody drooled over it. I loved it. Thought she looked hot when she did. Right? I mean, what are you talking about, man? This is— let me ask you a straight question. Let me ask you a straight question. Does Sydney Sweeney have bad genes? Yes or no?
No. I don't think she has bad genes.
Does she have good genes? Does she have good genes?
No. Again, you're trying for these gotchas. If you
so
just
she doesn't
listen.
have good or bad genes?
The whole point is to argue that good and bad genes itself is a bad idea. It's a racist idea.
Why can't you have good genes, Mark?
Why is it racist?
If
why
you
can't you have
allow
good
me
genes?
to— All right, I'm going to respond, and I'm going to hope that you don't interrupt me as I answer, okay? Because again, no one else has been interrupted except the people who disagree with you. What I'm saying is,
Stop being so precious, please.
The word you listen. The word eugenics literally means good genes. It literally means that etymologically. The point here is to judge human beings based on their genes, and to decide that you have good genes and you have bad genes isn't in and of itself a racist project. That's the point. So no, it's not that I think that I have good genes and you can't say anyone else has good genes. I'm saying let's get rid of the good genes narrative, particularly when it's based on hair and eyes and body type. Why? Because those things are racially coded. In other words, if I say that straight hair is good genes or blonde hair is good genes, and no, I'm not after watching an ad Googling someone to figure out their natural roots. You'd be shocked to know how many people don't do that. If I'm doing these things and I see your eye color and your hair as a sign of your good genes, then that means someone who has a different hair or eye color doesn't have good genes. And the last thing I'll say is, if you look historically at ads, at culture—
It doesn't though, does it? All right, calm down.
Hold on. Let me jump in on this show. Let me jump in. The girl has good genes. Like, how does it? There's black women that have good genes too. The people that you perceive to be pretty, they have good genes. And what is good genes? That means desirable, attractive genetic makeup. What makes a girl, like for instance, look at this panel. I'm not going to make fun of nobody. I'm not. But the young lady in the middle, she got good genes. The young lady wearing black, her genes don't seem to be as good, right? The way her nose is, the way her smile, her facial expressions. Now, we know these girls be caking makeup on their face like it's going out of style. But look at it. What's her name? Brianna? What's her name? The one in the middle. Deborah. I always forget her name. Look at Deborah. Is that not? Look at her hair. Now, she do work her hair a little bit. She probably put a little spritz in it. She probably dyed a little bit. Women do all kind of stuff to make themselves look a certain way. But would you say that her genes are different than the girl in the black? Now, maybe somebody would prefer one over the other, but I just think that the one in the middle look healthier, happier, and have a better genetic makeup. Eyebrow combination is different than the girl that's wearing all black, that literally have clown makeup on. So I'm not trying to say one is bad or not, and I don't know who's a conservative and who's not. I'm just telling you that it's not abnormal and unfair to say that you think somebody have better genes than the other when it comes to appearance. When it comes to athletics, who has the best genes athletically? Black people. Generically speaking, the people who have the most prolific athletic gene is black people. If you got on television and showed LeBron James doing a 360 windmill at 40 years old after playing in the league for 20-some years, he probably can play for 40 years and still do a windmill. It's not abnormal to say that those are really good genes. But it's funny because if a black person did this, I don't think Mark Lamont Hill would care. But since a white woman did this, women feel, black women specifically, and he's simping for the black women, they feel inferior because they know that they don't look as good as Sydney Sweeney. Many of them don't. Many of them have to wear a hair weave, like the basketball girl that got her hair weave pulled off. Now, could Sydney Sweeney have a little weave piece in? Yeah, but overall, y'all, let me just say this, and I'll come back. Go back to the clip. Put the clip back up there. Y'all say that you're upset about her mentioning her genes, yet you want to emulate the genes of a white woman. Some of y'all wearing contact lenses to make your eyes lighter. Some of y'all bleaching your skin. Some of y'all wearing wigs and weaves that make your hair appear to be European. And then get mad when a person say these are good genes. Well, you think they good genes too. That's why you're trying to emulate. But let me go back to Mark Lamont Hill and them. Roll the clip.
Calm down. It doesn't actually mean that. No, hang on. No, I will speak on my own show. So just calm down.
I'm asking you not to be condescending.
Stop being so precious. My instruction about shouting was between the four of you, not me. It's my show. I do what I like.
Yes, I don't care if it's your show.
And my point is this.
If you interrupt me in the first minute, it's bad form. I'm saying that if you let the guest who agreed with you talk for 3 minutes, then don't allow me to talk for more than 1 second. You literally didn't let me finish the first sentence.
You have literally done more talking than all three other guests put together, multiple
that is
by
not true.
2 or 3. So cool
that's
your
not true,
precious
but
jets.
my issue with you interrupting was not at this point. It was at the first 10 seconds. My point was just to interrupt me in the first 10 seconds. So
Can you
much I've
calm
spoken now is
down?
irrelevant.
Can you calm down?
I'm not angry. I'm not angry. I'm talking over you.
Right.
Can I jump in
I
here,
have
Piers?
blue eyes. Right. I also have good genes, particularly on my mother's side, because my skin is surprisingly good for a person of my age, because my mother's side all had good skin. You got a problem with that?
No, I didn't say it enough. I don't think that's much for me to say when it comes to this. But if you haven't, and maybe I should have addressed this at the beginning. If you haven't seen the ad, here's the ad. Clip 1. Here's the ad so you can see it. Therefore, you can see how crazy it is for people to be so upset about this. Roll it.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has very genes.
That's it? That's the whole commercial? I thought it was more to it than that. That's the whole commercial? People mad at... Play it again, bro. Play it again. Play it again.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring.
Hold on, time out.
Often determining traits like
y'all see what they doing here? The genes, right? She's promoting genes. And then she's saying genes, okay? They're trying to be slick and cute and different about talking about some genes. You're not gonna buy her. You're not finna buy the girl. They're not promoting her, they're promoting the jeans. And it's supposed to be all seductive and my jeans are blue because her eyes are blue and the jeans are blue. Do you not see that? They trying to be smooth. Do she really believe I have great jeans? It's a play on words. She's selling blue jeans and she's saying jeans have been passed down from generation to generation, which means that this American Eagle type of jean have evolved over time and have gotten better and better and better. This is the new iteration of these jeans. And she's making a play on having good jeans, which is what she's wearing. And then she says her jeans are blue like her eyes. Why y'all tripping when somebody trying to be poetic? And the commercial is 2 seconds and y'all, this is white people talking about black people can't go. Look at what the girl did at the mall. That commercial led to Mark Lamont Hill being silly. And then this girl at the mall saying this. Roll the clip.
Hey, you want to go to American Eagle?
Oh, I can't go in there because I'm black.
Hold on. Go back.
Hey, you want to go to American Eagle?
Pause it. But you got blonde hair though. Like what did you say? You could go half in because your hair blonde. You trying to have blonde hair like Sydney Sweeney. That's not your real hair color. So what are you saying? You saying that you can't go in because you don't have good genes, yet you emulate the genes that she has in the photo. You trying to be white with your blonde hair like the white girl that you claim you can't go in American Eagle because you don't have the same genes. Shut the front door. Then let's go Megyn Kelly. I like Megyn Kelly. I agree with Megyn Kelly on a lot of things. I like Megyn Kelly now more than I've ever liked her when she was on TV. I thought she was a rhino at first. You know, not even a rhino. I didn't like Megyn. But then Megyn Kelly went on. I was like, oh man, she good. And now she got her own podcast. She is one out of women that I watch. Megyn Kelly is my favorite. Out of most of the women that I watch, she's one of my favorites. Let me not say my favorite. She's one of my favorites. There's a couple other women I like to watch. I don't really like to watch podcasts since I do this for a living much, but I like her takes on her Instagram. Roll the clip.
It's fine to be white, blonde-haired, and blue-eyed. I'm sorry. It's okay to say that. And the irony here, of course, is that if you had a Hispanic girl in that ad, if you had a black girl in that ad, a mixed-race girl in that ad, an Indian girl, an Asian girl, that'd be fine. Fine. You can celebrate their genes. But you cannot say anything about white genes because we're all still stuck in the Jim Crow era, in the slavery era, and we have to pretend that there's been no progress made whatsoever. We haven't had a black president. We don't have black Supreme Court justices. We didn't just have a black vice president and a black nominee for the Democratic nomination. No, there's been no progress. That's all you need to know. We're just as racist as ever over here in America, and there can never be a reference to good genes if you're talking about a white person, number one, never mind a white woman, number two, because there's a special hatred for them among the class that's lecturing us. And God forbid the person have blonde hair and blue eyes. Well, I am here to speak on behalf of blonde-haired, blue-eyed, white American women. There's nothing wrong with us. F off if you don't like the fact that we celebrate how good we look in jeans and possibly having good genes, period. And you know what? It can apply to you if you're redheaded and brunette and black-haired or black-skinned or brown-skinned. It's like, take a chill pill and relax. Just calm down. What we're celebrating here is beauty. The jeans comment is clearly a reference to her and her boobs. It's not her skin that anybody with two eyes can see. Only the weird leftists have chosen to freak out over this. And for them, I have a special message. Suffer. Good.
I thought she was going to tell him to shut the front door, but she didn't. But I think we beat the dead horse. Stop it with this stuff, man. Y'all got to stop living in the world of a cloud of racism. Like, I see that ad and I'm like, oh, she do got good genes. She probably going to be just as cute as she is when she's like 50 years old. I bet she's still going to be kind of hot. And one reason is because of cosmetic surgery and Botox, and, you know, she going to put makeup on her face to the day she died, and she going to bleach her hair, put some tracks in it or whatever. And, you know, so women, come on, really? Like, I'm not going to say nothing about women because then y'all think I hate women. But, like, women, it's all done in jest, right? Because I think you would think a lot of women don't have good genes if you seen them without makeup on. You be like, dang, your skin terrible. Now, you see my skin because I can't put makeup on it. But your skin is just as bad as my skin, but I can't see it because you put a filter on your Instagram post or you wearing makeup every day. So, come on. Why people take it so to heart and so get so flustered over this when everybody know they not their natural self anyway? They all trying to be something that they ain't. All right. I think I said enough. Let's go on to Shannon Sharpe. So Shannon Sharpe, God, there's sometimes if I wasn't saved or if I come back after going to heaven and I come back again somehow, I want to come back as this OnlyFans model who got paid allegedly $23 million for messing with a rich black man. Now, it makes me believe that Shannon Sharpe must have did something. He must have did something untoward to pay an OnlyFans model who he slept with $23 million when settling with her did not keep him from losing his job and his reputation. If he didn't do anything, you would think he would fight for his reputation and fight for his job back to be, you know, obviously acquitted or proven not guilty of any of these charges that she's levied against him. But young men, listen to me clearly. Don't let your thing get you in trouble. Don't let it get you in trouble. Don't let the P get your career. Like they used to tell us when I was a cop. Don't let the P get your badge. Because men just can't handle themselves. They want to go sleep with their coworkers. They want to go sleep with women, prostitutes, getting happy endings. You letting the P take your career. And in this case, Shannon Sharpe is a 50-year-old man in great shape, a bunch of money. He could settle down with a good woman. He could actually be with a good, solid woman. But Shannon Sharpe want to play Playboy. You 50-something, man. You want to play Playboy. And you go sleep with a nasty and trying to get freaky. You got caught on Instagram going live getting freaky. All that other stuff. Shannon, you rich, bro. What you doing? How you messing with sleazy women and you rich? But it cost him a lot. They say his salary is about $6.5 million a year on ESPN. He lost potentially $100 million of media deals, all for the P. And this ain't some unique P. This ain't some glorified, excellent P. She looked good, but everybody didn't have that. Everybody done came through. People didn't roll through and checked it out. Shannon Sharpe, you lost $100 million for some used P. You lost $100 million for some rental car P. Now it's a Rolls Royce rental, but it's a rental car. This ain't a woman who's a upstanding citizen, a woman who got, wits about her. She's a great mother, and you willing to risk it for that. You risking it for the used P. The OnlyFans, everybody done seen that. They pay $25 a month or something. They done seen that. Come on, man. Young men, listen. Avoid this at all costs. Let me let you listen to him finally apologize or whatever he had to say about this situation and getting canceled and losing all this doggone money over that used woman. Roll the clip.
Get started. Obviously, I'm sure everybody's heard the news by now that I will not be returning to ESPN. I found out this information a little earlier in the week. And really, the only thing that I really ask is, like, guys, could we wait until Monday? My brother's going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I really wanted to be about him, and I wanted to be about my family. I know this coming out will overshadow everything that he's worked his entire life for. And unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. And so as I told him, as I profusely apologized to him earlier today, he said, bro, stop apologizing. You don't have to apologize. I'm your big bro. I'm going to love you regardless. We all make mistakes. And he says, bro, I love you. So I'm done with this. You're done with it too. Move on. And I really enjoyed my time at ESPN. It gave me an opportunity to bring my audience that saw me really just grow. They saw me, Lakers in 5, and they saw me say all these analogies that my grandparents gave me, and I was able to bring that to ESPN. So I'm very, very grateful for that. But I just wished, of all things, like I said, hey, they did what they felt they needed to do, and I'm at peace with that. But I just wish, guys, this thing could have waited until Monday, because I hate the fact that I'm overshadowing my brother, the first two brothers in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And this is what the headline's going to be for the next couple of days. So, bro, again, I know you told me this, I don't have to apologize, but I'm going to do it one final time tonight, and I won't apologize again. I'm sorry that I upstaged you in this manner. That was never my intent. You've been my hero. You've been my role model from as long as I can remember. And I apologize, and I thank all my fans for supporting me when I was at ESPN and every place that I've been, be it Club Shay Shay, Nightcap, Undisputed, ESPN. Thank you guys for your support.
And let me say this. Do I condemn Shannon Sharpe? No, he a human, man. That man, everybody make mistakes. Some people stuff get caught, right? Your stakes are high. When you working at McDonald's, and nothing against people working at McDonald's, it's an entry-level job. You know what I'm saying. When you're working at McDonald's and you do what Shannon Sharpe did, nobody cares. Right? Nobody's going to sue you, right? Or whatever he did. I don't know if he did anything criminal because she ain't pursued any criminal charges. But if you do the same thing Shannon Sharpe did, nobody cares. If you cheat on a girl and you work at Best Buy, you work at Best Buy in the Geek Squad, and you cheat on your girlfriend, she gonna be hurt, but nobody gonna care. When you see, the Bible talks about with as much is given, much is required, right? The higher you go up, the more the penalty is for your mistakes. When you are King David, your mistakes are in a book that people are gonna read for thousands of years. Little people that didn't make the Bible that did stuff that King David did, nobody cares. That's why people like me, I try to be very mindful of what I say. I'm very mindful of how I act. I'm very mindful of what I present, because I'd never go anywhere without people recognizing me. Now, I went to Hawaii, people in the airport, and shout out to everybody that said what's up to me. I appreciate you. But bro, I can't be acting out of character and losing my temper and stuff in public. People see me, they like, oh, that's Officer Tatum. Or I get caught on camera doing something I'm not supposed to do. Everybody know it's me. And I'm not saying that you should want to do those things, but don't do them because you're popular. You should try to pray to God and work on having good character with as much as God has given you. You have to kind of protect that. So you can't do stuff everybody else can do. You can't make the mistakes everybody else can make. It's the same thing with being a pastor. Like, people are like, well, pastors are human. Well, you're not on the same level as the person going to your church when you're leading the church. You're not on the same level. God didn't give them the mantle to be able to have the respect and get the credence and access that you have to people's personal life and all that other stuff, or speaking life to them. God didn't give them that mantle. So the requirements are different for you and them. Now, at the end of the day, a sin is a sin, but God is going to punish you, I think, more severely when he put you up here to lead and you doing all this crazy stuff when you know better. It's really, you know, and that's what Shannon is experiencing. And I know he's going to make it out. I think Shannon's a good dude. He's just a dude. You know, when you don't have God as the head of your life, who wouldn't do this? If I wasn't saved, I'd be doing the same thing. I'm telling you the truth. I'm not too prideful to understand that, like, I'm a human. I'm a man. I remember how I used to be before I got saved. I remember the struggles that I have while I've been saved. You know, being saved helped me bring it all the way down here. But when I wasn't saved, you think I wouldn't be on OnlyFans? You think I wouldn't be after these women? I'm in shape. I got money. I'm doing it. I'd be a dog. And I'm glad the Lord saved me. And some of y'all men ain't willing to tell the truth about this, but I ain't got nothing to hide. And I think that young men need to hear stuff like this. I would have been bad, man. God know me better than I know myself. God knew that I needed to be saved when I was in college, or I would have done way worse than what had happened to me before I got saved, or the things that I had done and the things that were in my mind. Attitude, everything, not just women, attitude, women, everything. And then God knew after I was saved that I needed to be married before I ever saw real success, because that could have been a stumbling block. Because having success and being popular and being single is hard for a man. Because women don't hit me up in the DMs because they know I'm married and I'm a good man and I have good character and they don't want to get embarrassed. I think they will be. Some women have in the past, but like, since I've been with millions of followers, women don't really hit me, or I don't see them hit me in the DMs. When you're single, you have to entertain attention from women to a certain degree, right? Because you're looking for a wife. One of the women in the DM may be a woman you want to take on a date. So you're open to potentially engaging with women that are not good for you. And that's why I felt like God did it methodically. He go, you need to go to University of Arizona. Because if you go to another university and you end up being a superstar like you think you will be, you may never find God. You may never go down that path because you got everything. And you playing with God is good enough for you. You playing Christian and playing church is good enough for you. And if you're a superstar, what you think I'm blessing you. And I feel like God had to humble me, man. Going into college as an All-American and sitting on the bench. And I went to God. I wanted to give up on everything. I didn't know where else to go. I went to God. And God knew that if I went here and the situation was like this, that I would come to him. And then I got saved. And then the rest of my career went a little better. I still had a kid out of wedlock. I ain't lying about that. I had a kid out of wedlock. But I didn't have more than one kid out of wedlock. I think if I wasn't saved, I probably had a lot of kids out of wedlock. But I had one kid out of wedlock. And then it was a situation where I tried to do the right thing. And I could write a whole book about that you got to protect yourself. You can't think that you're so strong on your own. You got to have accountability partners and stuff like that, because you can be saved and still mess up. And then I didn't go to the NFL because maybe, just maybe, I'd have went to the NFL, and even when I was saved, I'd have been in an environment where I'd have watered down how I thought about God and everything like that. So God had to humble me and make me a police officer. Then I was able to see grind. I was able to see the real wickedness of the world and have compassion for people in their worst moment and build my character. And then I started to become political. And then God opened my mind to that. And he knew that, okay, Brandon is becoming popular. He need a good wife with him to help him go to the next level and to be a man of integrity and be with one woman and be stable and all the things that comes with marriage. Boom. So some of y'all may not want to hear all that, but I think it's necessary. But allegedly, he paid $20 million to this girl. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little jealous a little bit, because women like this can do wrong and be rich and then get saved. I struggled and was broke when I got saved. But these women get to do all that, make a lot of money, and then come and get saved. And then now they didn't get to wipe their stuff clean. I'm like, God dang, why couldn't I just do the work? Why couldn't I just be the worst? But But let me not say that, because I could have been the worst and I never recovered. She may never get saved. I don't know. I hope she does. Put it back on the camera. Let me read it quick. It's today I've decided to retire from OnlyFans. She need to go straight to hell for this if she don't repent. She done shysted a man for $20 million and now she's going to retire from OnlyFans. Thank you for your incredible support you've shown me over the past few years. This community has given me a life I could have never imagined. I'll still be active on social media and have several new projects in the works that I can't wait to share. I'm truly excited for the next chapter. I love you all forever and ever. God, but when you do the right thing, when you see stuff like this, you like, man, people just $20 million to be a. And there's good women out here raising their family right, and they broke. But hey, it is what it is, because you can be broke in the pocket and be rich in spirit. All right, let's get to this last story I want to talk about, the Ohio mob beating. I'm not a racist person. Nick may be, but I'm not a racist person. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. Somebody gonna take that and be like, Nick is a racist. But we joke about that all the time. But I can see why people don't like black people that much. And I'm not saying all black people. I'm saying the ignorant black people that give a bad rap to bad rap to most black people. I don't see why people don't like white people that much. There's a few white people here and there, generally speaking, that's off. But most white people are kind, that I've experienced. Nice, generous, whatever. The neighborhoods are clean, everybody. Same thing with Hispanic people. You know, it's a little less than white people, but it's still a lot of nice Hispanic people. They just don't, you don't see them doing what you see black people doing. You don't see drive-by shootings as prolific in the Hispanic community as you see in the black community. You don't see Hispanics, like show me a video of a Hispanic arguing with a cop and having to get pulled out of the car and beat up and stoned. Show me a Hispanic that got shot by the police officers that were unarmed, that got a T-shirt, got a GoFundMe. Show me one. I can't think of one. It's only black. Every video I see online of people trying, don't listen to the cops to get out the car. It's all black. Now, I know in the totality it's not all black, but it's so many more black people doing it that you see it more on social media. But listen what this black city council member said about the Cincinnati beating, where they knocked out that white lady. And let's look at her face real quick. I want y'all to see this white lady face. This is what they did to this white lady. And if you saw a black woman look like this, people would be calling for death to America. I think her face is on here somewhere. I thought it was just a picture. Oh, it's the prosecutor one. It should be just a photo. Yeah, right here. Oh, why blur it out? We need to, we blurred it out, but I'm going to put it out on my Instagram. Can we put this out on Instagram without it blurred out? Yes. Okay, I'm going to put it out on my Instagram, so go to my Instagram later to show it. I think that we didn't want to put it out there because of the YouTube stuff or whatever, it may demonetize or whatever. But when you see it on my Instagram, you'll see how bad her face is. They beat the out of this woman. And she's not a young woman. She looked like she probably in her 50s. And don't get mad at me, women, and say 50. I'm a young woman, mean 20s. And you know when you were 20 versus you being 50, you ain't young no more, all right? So, but listen what this council member said. Let's see, it was a council member, right? Yeah, the city council member said about that white lady. Now, this clip is not showing the actual person who said it. It's showing another black council member who was chastising the other black one for saying it. So roll the clip.
Well, reactions back here at home are also sparking controversy, including comments from Councilmember Victoria Parks. Parks wrote on Facebook that those who were beat up, quote, begged for it. Cincinnati City Council member Mika Owens just releasing a statement saying in part, quote, Councilmember Parks has been a civil servant for Cincinnati in Cincinnati for decades, and her service is deeply appreciated. However, making comments that inflame a violent incident is never acceptable, end quote. Owens goes on to say, quote, the comments of one lame duck member of Cincinnati City Council does not represent the opinions or perspectives of the council as a whole, and certainly not mine.
Let me say something about Mika Owens. If I had to guess, Mika Owens is African. She's not African American. Because I'm just saying, there's no other city council member that you can see that come out and said what she said. She does look African. And I'm just making a projection because Africans are a lot more civilized than some of these black folks that are African American. Because Mika didn't say this and stood up for what was right. But this other woman, do we have her face on here? This other woman who is an African American. And this is what she had to say. Let's roll the clip of what she said. Is it a clip or just a thing? This is a screenshot of what she said here. And it says, they begged for that beatdown. I'm grateful for the whole story. Like really? They begged for that beatdown. I'm grateful for the whole story. Now, here's the problem here. Not only is this racist, because I can put my life on it, that when black people get beat up and they deserved it, she will never say this. When black people get beat up by the police officer, you would never hear her take this side. So you know she's a racist. But the other thing is you're advocating for violence that led to black people going to jail. Because if you look at the situation, they arrested like 5 black people in this situation. 5 suspects charged. Some are already released on bond, but they were charged in this situation. So you're saying they asked for a beatdown that was clearly illegal. And you're advocating that you're glad that this happened when black people went to jail over this. This is the foolery that come from the people of the melanin sometimes. Is that in your own bubble of black stupidity, you think we won, we're celebrating, white people bad, white people got beat up and stomped, ha ha ha, they deserved it, look at these white folks. Yo, people going to jail over it. Yo, people catching cases over it. If they get convicted, they're going to be convicted felons. They ain't going to be able to vote. They're not going to be able to carry firearms. It's going to be all kind of, they're going to be able to rent apartment complexes. They're not going to be able to have a lot of things in society. They're not going to be able to have a lot of things because they're convicted felons. And you think that makes sense. This is why white people do better than black people on average. And this is why. You won't hear a white person often at all, ever, say something this stupid. You don't see white people much often celebrate thugs in the white community or people who are beating up police officers in the white community. You don't see that happening. White people still, by and large, have a moral compass to say, this is wrong, even if it's a white person. Black people struggle with that. And not all. I got to say that every time somebody try to cut your clip and say, look, black people struggle. Black people struggle with this, man. You don't hear LeBron James holding people accountable, do you? You don't hear Beyonce holding people accountable. She's a superstar. I mean, these are people at the top of the food chain. You don't hear Benjamin Crump. You don't hear Al Sharpton holding black people accountable, do you? Ever. Never. You see them defending people that's wrong. Who else is a celebrity in the black community? Most of these black celebrities that are the most popular are either don't say nothing or they supporting evil people. Who you say? Colin Kaepernick. You know, like, look at all these people. BLM, the biggest fraudulent organization to ever exist in American history, other than Bernie Madoff's thing. But Black Lives Matter. When do they hold black people accountable that's doing things negative to black people? That's the part that bothered me. Like, forget white people for a minute. Can black people call out black people for killing each other or killing brothers and sisters, robbing each other at gunpoint, stomping each other out? Like, we see them beat the white people up. They beat black people up like this all the time. You can go to World Star and see people getting stomped out and killed all the time. Like, why don't we call us out for doing stuff against us. Okay. All right, that ain't my business no more. I'm not a part of that community. I'm a part of the kingdom. And if you in the kingdom, you in the kingdom. I don't care what color you are. And God don't care what color you are, because it's just melanated skin, you idiots. You got to be stuck on stupid to think that your skin color really makes that much of a difference. It doesn't. There's some genetic components to it, right? If you athletic, maybe if you black, you may have a little more predisposition to be athletic or more athletic. If you white, maybe if your desire is to have long, straight hair, then if you want to have blue eyes, more than likely a white person will have blue eyes if that's your thing. It's genetic differences between us, but the call on our life ain't different. The purpose in our life ain't different. We don't read different. Our eye color, what we see out of our eyes aren't different. It's not like black people see red and white people see green. It's like we're human beings. It's just that some of us has been exposed to the sun for generations, and therefore we've developed a defense mechanism called melanin. Some of us have been exposed to different air quality or whatever, not air quality, but density and humidity and stuff. Therefore, some of us have bigger noses than others, bigger lips than others. I mean, there's certain evolutionary dynamics that the human condition is. If I stayed outside, if I lived in Seattle, Washington, I'd probably be a lot lighter skinned than I am now. Both of my little boys mixed, and they darker than me because they were in Hawaii in the sun all day. I thought my other son was somebody else's kid. He turned so dark. My oldest. So it's stupid of you to somehow think that we should be treated differently because of the color of our skin. And I'll finish with this. The main people crying and spitting and falling over each other over Martin Luther King don't even listen to Martin Luther King's famous words. Content of character, not the color of skin. This is the thing, and I'll say this and I'm gonna stop. There are certain simplistic principles that if people would abide by, their whole life will change. If you literally judge people on the content of their character, not the color of their skin, literally people's lives will be completely changed. Just one principle. Thou shalt not steal. One principle. Thou shalt not commit adultery. One principle. Shall love thy mother and father, or honor thy mother and father. One principle. You don't even have to do all the commandments. If some of y'all just do one, I say us. I'm gonna put it on y'all. If some of us would just do one commandment, your whole life will be different. Just one. Just one thing. You don't have to be perfect on the Bible. I think you should be. God has demanded that you be right about the Bible. But if you want to make a difference, you can just start with one. Do that one thing. Change your whole life. All right, let's get to Super Chats real quick. All right, just one? Oh, that tells me nobody watching this live stream. All right, anyway, love you, CJM. Brother Tatum, I went off to Lake Havasu a couple of weeks ago, and man, it was beautiful, but hot as a mug. Dry heat hit different than the South heat. Yeah, dry heat is it burn. The South heat makes you feel hot. The dry heat just burn you. Like you would get scorched. But anyway, I love you guys. Thank y'all for watching anyway. I'm out.
Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. I'm a proud American.